The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. Hans Hofmann. Man, that is just a great nutshell of what we do with these charts that we use using the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, the volume, and trend lines. We eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary, which is price movement, and accurately being able to follow it, can speak. That is what we are all about, 100%. And with that said, let's jump into the charts. We see everything up for the day except Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. Now, with the up moves, literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that we see in these charts, where has that left us? As we look at the half-day chart, up in the morning, afternoon, pretty much every day, we see the 2-day chart representing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, what do we see going on there? Well, of course, this last 2-day candle just blasting through the weekly trend line, but where did it leave us? We look at the big chart, we see a little bit higher than average volume, a little bit less than last week, and we see a doji sitting right there on the weekly trend line. What does that mean? Well, we had one before, and we had another one after that just, 2 and 3 weeks ago, and then things rolled back over going down. As we look at the half-day chart, you can see that when things popped up that first green week and into that second, that was the green spinning top, green doji almost, and the red spinning top close to a doji, we see that the market was sliding sideways and then rolled over. Is that what we're getting to again? It's right just below that prior high. So let's pay attention to that. See what this next week holds for us. Are things going to literally end here, pop around, and head back up? They could. Again, we don't know. And we're going to wait, we're going to watch, we're going to see. That's why we use, of course, our profit and loss bands. They are the key to making sure that we preserve profits, we limit losses, and of course, when we can, we let profits run. Up 0.19% for the day. So this is our weekly review and forecast, and as we forecast next week, got a lot of uncertainty. That's what a doji tells you, and it's sitting right there on the trend line. Now, shorter trends are moving up, but we also have a potential area here where it didn't move ahead last time, didn't move above. So we'll be paying close attention to that. Now, when we go to the NASDAQ 100, we see about the same thing sitting right there on the line. We have 1 2-day candle blasted through, and of course we have 5 days of up movement. Volume is about the same on the NASDAQ as it was, as far as going above the average just barely, as it was on the S&P. So we'll be paying attention again this next week to see where things go from here. We have the height of uncertainty with this, and we will pay close attention to see if we have a ceiling forming to where the most recent high popped up to back on the 2-day candle for the 11th of October. Is it going to get up there and range back down? We don't know. We'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. We'll be ready to react as the market tells us. Now let's look at 20-year bonds. 20-year bonds, of course, gave us a great ride, a 2.10% down move very quickly, and then we let the rest of it ride. Well, now we have a 2-day candle that's closed above, twice, closed above the weekly trend line, and this latest week we have a spinning top that's closed above. So again, I know many of you closed your position when you started seeing the 2-day range out of it. That's fine. How did you end the week? Did you take your profits, or are you still hoping, maybe beyond hope, although there is some indecision here with the kind of candle we see, but look at all that volume. We'll see what happens as we enter into the next week. Now, again, that is not a super strong turnaround as we look at it. We can see the last time that we saw a nice climb in 20-year bonds, we had green candles all the way, no spinning tops, no indecision like we see here. So we will be watching, waiting, seeing what's going on. And if you pulled that trade, which I do not discourage at all, took your very nice profits and are waiting to see if it's going to roll back down again, stand by. We shall see. And again, when I say trades, I'm talking about practice trades, not a stock calling or bond or gold or Bitcoin calling service. We're an education firm. I want you to practice with us. Let's go to gold. The only disappointing thing about gold this week is, of course, that it never really ranged up a lot. We see where it closed last week at 186. The high last week, 186.36. This week, 186.21. So we didn't get to the high of last week. Much smaller candle, but at least we see a lot of green in the two bigger charts, the 2-day and the weekly. Is gold peaking out? Well, next week will tell us. Look at all the volume here over these last few weeks. And again, this volume is not with lots of up movement. We saw things, now that first week it was, back on the week beginning the 16th of October, a little bit higher on the 23rd, and we do see volume decreasing also as that price moved up. This week, less volume, not hitting the prior high, so we'll be very carefully watching gold for those of you who are still in a practice up trade on gold. Let's see what it's going to do over the course of this next week, particularly as the week gets started. Bitcoin pulling back some, and again, last week Bitcoin hit a high of 34.03. This week 34.09, so it did go a little bit higher. Lots of volume last week, above average volume this week, but not climbing any higher. So what are we actually waiting for? Well, we can see on the half-day chart as things have slid sideways, same on the 2-day, same on the weekly. Are we actually peaking out in this? Is it going to end, with Bitcoin? No idea. We shall wait, watch, and see, but it has gotten lackluster after things popped up. So be cautious as we jump into this next week. My friends, thank you so much for being with us. We always love to hear from you. Appreciate you being with us throughout the week. Hope that you get ready for another exciting week of trading. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.